Right. Exception handling mechanism is a, first of all we have to understand exception handling mechanism, we better to understand what is an exception. What is an exception? What is an exception? Yeah. Can you tell me what is an exception? Right. Exception is a, have you gone?
Error.
Runtime error.
Yes. An exception is a, an exception. An exception is a runtime error. An exception is a runtime error. Runtime error. Yeah. Errors are two types. Errors are two types. Number one is compile time error. Number two is runtime error. About compile time error, an error which is occurred at the time of compiling the program is called compile time error. Compile time error, for example, syntax errors, semicolon, these are all called compile time error. An error which is occurred at the time of executing the program is called runtime error. So runtime errors are because of improper logic or invalid input. For example, user has to enter there is a program which is performing the division. So there you entered second number 0. Here your invalid input, that's why it will throw what error. Whenever there is a runtime error occurred, the program execution will terminate abnormally. To avoid this abnormal termination, we have to go for a concept called exception handling mechanism. So runtime error, your exception is nothing but runtime error. Runtime errors are because of invalid input or improper logic. If the logic has a problem or if the input is invalid, then you may get runtime error. To handle these runtime errors, we'll go for exception handling mechanism. What is exception handling? What is an exception handling? What is an exception handling? Exception handling is a predefined mechanism. Exception handling is a predefined mechanism. Exception handling is a predefined mechanism to handle runtime errors. Exception handling is a predefined mechanism to handle runtime errors by using try, catch, finally blocks. So exception handling is a predefined mechanism to handle runtime errors by using try, catch, finally blocks. Right. Yeah. Now, yeah. Vinil, yeah, tell me, what is an exception? What is an exception? Vinil, or else Vasundhara, tell me what is an exception?
Exception is a runtime error.
Errors are how many types?
Two types, compile time and runtime.
Compile time error, and the second one is runtime error. What do you mean by, yeah, Urmil, what do you mean by compile time error? Urmil, what do you mean by compile time error?
Error during compile time is a compile time error.
An error which is occurred at the time of compiling the program is called compile time error. Can you give me some examples for compile time error?
Yeah, one sec.
Yeah, right. Uma, tell me. Can you give me example for compile time error? Right. So can Uma, tell me. Example for compile.
Like semicolon, sir.
Semicolon missing.
Missing semicolons.
Errors are compile time error. How to resolve the compile time
Yes.
errors, Uma? How to resolve the compile time errors? How to solve the compile time errors? By correcting the syntaxes. Suppose semicolon is missing. It is throwing compile time error. Immediately, what you will do? We will uh, we will fix the semicolon. Coming to the runtime error. Runtime error, right? Yeah, Sri Harsha, tell me what is runtime error? Right. Soumya, tell me what is runtime error? Right. Snehal, tell me what is runtime error? What is runtime error? Snehal, what is runtime error? What is
Runtime error, an error that occurs during the runtime that may cause unexpected execution of the application.
an error which
That is called runtime error.
time of executing the program is called which error? Runtime error. So my question is, examples for runtime errors, Snehal. What is runtime error? An error which is occurred at the time of
Execution.
executing the program. Examples for runtime error. You can say the reasons for runtime error is maybe invalid user inputs. User has to enter some valid value, but he is entered invalid value. For example, when you are performing divide by 0, first number 10, second number 5, valid input. First number 10, second number 0, invalid input. And the second reason is improper logic. You are not implemented right logic, even though you may get a runtime error. To handle these runtime errors, we'll go for a concept called exception handling mechanism. Okay, exception handling mechanism is a predefined mechanism. Exception handling is a predefined mechanism to handle runtime errors by using try comma, catch comma, finally blocks. Finally, we can say exception handling is a predefined mechanism to handle runtime errors by using try comma, catch comma, finally blocks. Suppose I have a question. We have written a program 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6 lines program. Suppose in this program I didn't implement exception handling mechanism, but in third line you are getting error. Everybody try to understand. I'm implementing a program. I have written a program. In this 6 lines program, in third line I got error. What is going to be happen?
Program start executing.
Program executing 1, 2, 3. But in third line error is occurred. Program execution will continue or will not continue?
Will not continue.
Yes. Here what will happen? Whenever an error is occurred, here program execution will terminate abnormally. Program execution will terminate abnormally and it will throw some system defined error messages. So suppose I have written a program like this, same 6-line program, but this time also you are expecting error in the third line, but that error you are handling with the help of exception handling mechanism. That error you are handling with the help of exception handling mechanism. Now program execution is going on 1, 2, 3. Here error is occurred. What will happen?
It
What
will be handled by the mechanism.
program execution will terminate or will not terminate?
Will not terminate.
Will
It
not
will be
terminate.
handled by the
Here, what will happen? What will happen? Here that exception handling mechanism will handle that error and it will display a user friendly error message to the user to get the valid input and it will handle the error and program execution will continue smoothly. Program execution continue will smoothly. So whenever you didn't implement exception handling mechanism, program execution terminated abnormally. Whenever you are implemented exception handling mechanism, program execution is continuing smoothly. So that is the main purpose of exception handling mechanism. So purpose of finally purpose of exception handling mechanism is what? Guys, tell me. Purpose of exception handling mechanism. Tomorrow somebody will ask a question. What
To handle the runtime errors.
what is the
And to
purpose of
display.
1 minute, 1 minute, wait. What is the purpose of exception handling mechanism? Yes. And before that, I am telling you one more important point. We completed up to oops, and this week these topics are going to complete, but you should be prepared on all interview questions, whatever I have given in interview question bank up to date. Up to date means up to 1 to 11 in framework, and up to oops means maybe up to oops. What is the last question? Benefits of oops?
We did till 60 tests, sir.
No. Everybody done. I don't know. I don't think so. Everybody has done. Have given, but I don't know. So my plan is once we completed C#.NET means all of the students should be 100% should be prepared and strong, should be strong on that up to covered questions. So for that we need to work, we have to plan some a different assignment this time. What assignment we have to think about that, get ready. So already how many people are 100% strong in up to that OOPS questions, up to covered OOPS topic?
So I did till 60, sir.
My
I'm
question
done with
is
till 60.
11 framework questions and up to oops means maybe 70 to
70.
70 approximately, means totally approximately 80 question. Up to 80 you have to prepare. That responsibility I have to take, because otherwise you will never open the book. I'm sure about that. Suppose you didn't prepare, you will never prepare in your life. I'm sure. Till the time if you will not prepare now, you will never prepare in your life. Okay. If you will never prepare in that life, you can't get a job. I'm sure about that. With your own, you will not get a job. So that's the reason we have to work on that first. Syllabus completion is not only matter, right? That is also by C# is completed. You should be 100% strong in C#. How your child is, how kids are learning tables now, like that you should be prepared on that 80 questions. So for that, yeah, the best is audio. Audio is the best. Audio best means questions you should type in notepad. You are reading the question and you are explaining the answer on audio and you have to send to me. I'll give you some work on that. Get ready. One more day time you take to prepare very well. Try to prepare well, and everybody has to submit that assignment. Then only we'll go on. Okay, right. Now come back to what is the purpose of, right, mute. Yeah, right. What is the purpose of exception handling mechanism? What is that? To handle what errors?
Runtime errors.
Errors. To handle
And
runtime. The main
avoid,
purpose is to handle runtime errors by
and avoid abnormal termination.
Gracefully.
avoiding what? Abnormal
Termination of the program.
abnormal termination.
Termination of program.
Terminations. Abnormal terminations. Okay. Yes. So
Sir, I missed the last point a little bit that if we if we use exception handling, then what will happen? It will terminate, but it will terminate gracefully. Is that the point? I mean, the last thing you were telling, and then the voice was
Program displays a user-friendly message. Like
1 minute. Let me explain. Right, program. Guys, here you are getting error. Let's say you are expecting error here. You are expecting error here. Okay. So you actually you didn't implement exception handling mechanism. Then what is going to happen? You run the program. So program execution is going on. Here error is occurred. Whenever error is occurred, what will happen? Program execution will terminate abnormally. It will not execute remaining statements. Suppose same program you are again, but you implemented exception handling mechanism with the help of try catch finally. So here error is occurring. Error is getting. You are getting error. So going on but you are handling the error with the help of try catch finally. Means exception handling mechanism is implemented. You are executing the program. Error is occurred. Whenever error is occurred, that error will be handling by the exception handling mechanism by displaying some user friendly messages, and program execution will not terminate. No abnormal termination. Program execution will continue smoothly. So that is the main purpose of exception handling mechanism. Right. Now coming to finally, that's why we can say what is the purpose of exception handling mechanism. We can say to handle runtime errors by avoiding the abnormal terminations. By avoiding the abnormal terminations. Okay, so that is the main purpose of exception handling mechanism. Yes. Um, yeah. Syntax to implement exception. Syntax to implement exception handling mechanism. Yes. We'll write try block. We'll write catch block. Catch block. And in catch block here you will have exception class. Exception class. And here reference variable. And you will write here finally. Here you will write finally. Try block, catch block, and finally block. Okay. So this is the main syntax of exception handling mechanism. To implement exception handling mechanism, you can use the three blocks. So within the try block, what we will write, within the catch block, what we will write, we have to understand. Within the try block, here, here, uh, here, we have to write the code which may throw an error. Here one more important is, here exception class means to implement exception handling mechanism. To implement exception handling mechanism, to handle every error, they are giving one predefined class. Microsoft is providing one predefined class. For example, 1 minute, I'll show you. For example, yeah, to handle divide by zero error, there is a class divide by zero exception. There is a class called divide by zero exception. To handle arithmetic error, there is an exception class called arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception. It is a class. So this class is a part of a base class library called system. Like that, Microsoft is providing various predefined exception classes to handle the errors. So here in this syntax, here we have to write the class. Which class name you have to write? It depends upon the error which you are getting from the try block. Let's say in try block you are expecting an error called a divide by zero error. Then you will here you will write divide by zero exception class. In try block, suppose you are expecting arithmetic error, then here you will write arithmetic exception class. In try block, if you are expecting overflow error, here you will write overflow exception class. And coming to the reference variable name, like you know, my class obj. Obj is the reference variable. Like here you will create one reference variable name, nothing but a parameter. Write a parameter. It is a user defined. But this class will be predefined class which is provided by the Microsoft, depends upon the error which you are getting from the try block. And in catch block, catch block, we will write the error handling code. Error handling code. Error handling code. In finally block, we have to write the error free code. Error free code means the code which we want to execute. The code which we want to execute irrespective of errors, means which we want to execute always when there is an error, when there is no error. First of all, if you want to understand this and this and this, we need to understand what is the order of this try catch finally execution flow. We need to understand. So to understand that execution flow, first let me explain. First control will execute try block. While executing the try block, if there is an error, then control immediately will come out of the try block with that error, and it will look for the catch block. It will look for the catch block which can handle that error. then immediately it will catch that catch block and it will execute. After executing the catch block, it will execute the finally block. This is the execution flow when there is an error. When there is an error. Right. Second model is while executing the try block, let us assume there is no error and it will execute the full try block. Here no error. After executing the try block, control will come out of the try block and it will skip the catch block, and next it will execute the finally block. Next to it will execute the finally block. After this it will execute the finally block, but here it is skipping which block? Catch block. So here execution flow of the try catch and finally two models. One model is when there is an error. Second model is when there is no error. First, understanding these two models are very important for this concept. Right. Okay. Who understood that model, how try catch finally is executing? Right. Indira, can you explain? Indira. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, explain the try catch finally two models.
If there is an error in try block, then it will check the catch block.
No,
Then it will.
I didn't explain like that. Okay. I'll explain one more time. It will take some time to understand. Okay. Somebody is asking, explain one more time. I'll explain, but somebody also has to try first before I'm explaining second time. Because this
Sir, one more time, sir. Explain one more time.
this in this concept, two things are important. One is one important thing is how try catch finally executing order execution. Second is what code we need to write in each block. If you will understand these two things 100%, this exception handling mechanism implementation will be very simple. Suppose you didn't understand these two things. Two things means the order of the execution and the code which you have to write. I'm sure you will get confused. It is very simple topic. I'm sure if you will understand these two things. Right. I'll explain one more time. So, and after that you need to explain, I'm sure. Right. First, control will execute try block. While executing the try block, let's say here some error is occurred. In this situation, some error is occurred. Immediately, what the control will do, control will not continue the execution of the try block. It will come out of the try block. It seems that try block is not executed 100%. A part of the try block executed. Control will come out of that error. It will come out of that error, and it will look for the catch block. It will look for the catch block which can handle the error, and it will catch that catch block, because that means you can say that you may have multiple catch blocks, because you may expect some multiple errors, and whatever catch block is able to handle that catch block, it will catch, it will execute. Now catch block is handling the error. Next, after execution catch block, it will execute the finally block. This is a case 1. In case 1, this is the model. You can observe first to try block, and once error it came, it come out from try block and it will execute catch block, next finally block. Okay. The second model is what? It's executing the try block, but there is no error. While executing the try block, there is no error. There is no error. Means full try block is executed, but there is no error. When there is no error, here only one thing, error is nothing but pain. Catch block is nothing but medicine. Whenever you have pain, you will apply the medicine. Whenever there is no pain, you will not apply the medicine. Same story. Full try block is executed, but there is no error. That's why it will skip the which block? Catch block. It will skip the catch block, then it will execute which block? Finally block. It will execute finally block. Okay, so that is the story about second model. Okay. Means in first model what happened, in second model what happened. In first model, a part of the try block is executed, then catch block is executed, then finally block is executed. In second model, try and finally full try block, finally block is executed, but catch block is skipped. Whenever there is an error, only catch block is executing. Whenever there is no error, catch block is skipping. Finally block is executing always, and part of the try block is executing when there is an error. Full try block is executing when there is no error. Right. Okay. Yeah. Now is it okay? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Right. So if you'll explain slowly, it will take so much time. Whenever we are going slowly, topics will take one day we are planned. Actually, oops, we planned it 10 days. It went, I think, 18 sessions or 19 sessions. I remember oops has taken total for us. We thought 10 days, 10 sessions, but it went, according to my knowledge, last oops session is oops 53, 54, 55, 55. Yesterday I have discussed any oops interface last concept we done yesterday I think. Yeah, 20 sessions. It has taken 19 plus half session. Around 20 sessions it has taken. Oops. 20 means yeah, right. Yeah, you guys, this is the model. Who can explain now?
Me.
Sir.
Yeah, Kalyani explain. Kalyani explain. Right. Okay, Madhuri, you carry on. Otherwise, yeah, give chance to Bhaskar, carry on.
At the time of program execution,
Hmm.
first it will execute try block.
Okay.
In try block, we may find any error.
Hmm.
At that time, it will throw that error to catch block.
Hmm.
Means related catch block.
Hmm.
There will be so many catch blocks,
Hmm.
and then in
At
that
present,
catch block,
at present, it's better to think about, don't think multi-catch plus. Make it simple. Concept to make it simple. Okay. First, it is
okay,
executing try block. While executing try block, if there is an error, it will come out of the try block and it will catch the catch block and it will execute the catch block. Then it will execute the finally block. And this is the
finally block.
first model. Okay. Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Madhuri, come on. You tell me the second model.
If there is no error in try block, it
Hmm.
will execute complete block and then it will skip the catch
Hmm.
and the finally block is executed.
Right, right, executed. Okay, na? Right. So this is the second model. Okay, again, I'm telling you, try to catch if anybody are confused. First model is executing the try block. While executing the try block, let's say here we have error. Whenever there is an error, whenever there is an error, control will come out of the try block. Means it is skipping the remaining part. You observe here. When there is an error, it is skipping the remaining part. Okay, and it will execute which block? Catch block. Catch block. While executing the catch block, if there is a, no doubt, whenever there is an error, it has to execute the catch block. Catch block is handling the error. Next control will execute what?
Finally.
No. This is the first.
Finally.
So when there is an error, you can observe. Finally block is executing. Catch block is executing. But try block is executing only part. Part of the try
Partial execution.
partial execution. That is called partial. Suppose there is no error. Suppose there is no error.
Then try block will be executed fully and then
Is
the control goes to the finally block.
1 minute. There is no error. While executing, there is no try block. There is no error. Then it will execute full try block. Full try block. It will execute full try block. And after executing the try block, no error. That's why what it will do, it will skip the, which block? Catch block. And it will execute finally block. Means what is this? What is this? When there is a no error, full try block, full finally block, but skipping which block?
Catch.
Catch block. And what code we have to write within the try block, within the catch block, we can understand. What is that? Finally block we will come from bottom. Finally block error free code. Error free code means the code which we want to execute irrespective of errors. When there is an error, because finally block is executing always. That's the reason. In finally block, we need to write the code which we want to execute when there is an error, when there is no error. Coming to the catch block. Here it is executing only when there is an error. That's why that code is nothing but error handling code. Error handling code means very simple point here. You can say, suppose you entered second number is 0. You should not enter 0. You have to display a user friendly message. Babu, please enter other than 0. That like user friendly message code. That is error handling code. That code you will write in catch block. And coming to the try block. Try block is here we need to understand next level. That is in try block we need to write the code which may throw an error, I said. But actually try block in this regard we have to divide it into two parts. We have to divide into two parts. Part 1 and part 2. Part 1 and part 2. So part 1 and part 2 means in part 1 we have to write the what code, you know, the code which may throw an error. The code which may throw an error. Okay. So next, what about part 2, guys? What is part 2?
The code which doesn't have an error.
The code that may not have any error.
Means what?
Possibly solved.
Means what? Think about that, all of you guys. Here only most of the people will have a confusion. 1 minute, all of you, just think about that. Second part, first part we understood because that is the code which may throw in a error. What about part 2?
Part 2 will be the code which will be executed if there is no error.
Very good. Because you have to say, you can say a simple way. Because what is that? Try block is executing. See, always you may get error from which part?
Part 1.
Only part 1 you can expect error. So because the code which may throw an error we are keeping in part 1. Whenever there is an error, what is the control is doing? Control is going what? Out of the which block?
Catch.
Sorry,
Try
try
block and
So part 2 is not executing whenever there is an error. Am I right?
yes.
Yes. And suppose you are executing the program in part 1 there is no error. Then part 2 will execute or will not execute?
Will not execute.
No. Again. You are
If there is no error, it will execute completely.
Part 1 is not giving error. Part 1 is not, see, there is no guarantee that it will give the error, right? Here you try to understand, error will be depends upon the user input. User entered 0, for example, divided by 0. In part 1 it will throw what? Error. So control will come out of the which block? Try block, and part 2 will be skipping. Suppose user entered not 0, user entered second number 5. Then in part 1 you will get error or no error?
No error.
No error. Whenever there is no error, what will happen? Part 2 also will
Executed.
Part 2 should be what?
The code which is not throwing an error need to be executed.
Instead of that, better point I need. The code
Which is not have an error and need to be executed. The code which is need to execute it.
Think. You guys think. Part 1 and part 2 you think.
Error-free code.
Again you think, you will get very good point here. All of you guys think. The code which
Which is
the code which should execute
may not have an
Will execute when there is no error.
very good. Which should execute when there is no error. But the code which should execute when there is no error. Only no error. It should execute whenever there is no error. Okay? That code will not execute when there is an error. That code we should write within the part 2 of the try block. Again. Yeah. So with this we can say part 1 is the code which may throw any error. Part 2 is the code which should execute only when there is an error. When there is no error, this is the code which may throw an error. This is the code which should execute when there is no error. And catch block will have error handling code. And finally, block will have error-free code, the code which we want to execute irrespective of errors. Okay, so that is the story. Right, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
First, if you will understand theoretically, whenever we will go for programming, you can understand. Okay, now we will see next level, that is a try block. Remember this point. A try block can follow with one catch or multiple catch blocks and with a finally or without finally. With a finally or without finally. I am writing here. A try block can follow with one catch block or multiple catch blocks and with finally or without finally. A try block can follow with one catch block or multiple catch blocks and with finally or without finally. With this you can say, what are the compulsory blocks?
Try and catch.
Try and
Catch
try
are
and
compulsory, but catch can be either one or multiple.
multiple.
Remember, try block is compulsory block and catch block is compulsory. Catch blocks can be single or multiple. And finally is optional block here. Note here finally is optional block. If you will not write also, nothing wrong. Remember this point. Try block can follow with one catch or multiple catch block and finally is a optional block. Clear everybody?
Yes, sir.
You do one thing. I'm sending all the whatever we discussed up to here through chart. Just to go through it. We will enter into programming now. Go through like anything. Once we entered into program, suppose you are not clear in this theory, when we entered into programming, I'm sure we may not understand that much simple. Suppose you are 100% clear, when you are writing coding, you can understand very simply. Okay, right. Go through it, all of you guys. Take 2 minutes time, go through it like anything. Don't compromise, don't try to convince yourself. Understood everybody? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right, let's write the program. Example to handle divide by 0 error by using try comma catch blocks. We'll try this program with the help of try comma catch blocks. Okay guys, very simple. That is we will take as first we'll write a divide by 0 program. Okay, later we'll think about exception handling mechanism. Okay, so first we'll write a normal program. Try otherwise exception handling example. Okay, we'll write a normal program to perform the division. We need to write the code like this: console.writeLine. We need to accept two numbers. Enter first number. Enter first number. Right, and int L equal to into dot parse of console dot read line. console.readline. Yes. And accepting second number. Later we'll implement exception handling mechanism. First we'll write the program and we'll try to understand this. Enter second number into B First number and second number B. Yes. Now you are performing division into dv equal to a by b Yes. Okay. Console dot write line div result is div. Div result is yeah. Anywhere you have this. Anywhere you have exception mechanism right now. Did we implement it or not implemented?
Not implemented.
It is a normal program. First, we will execute this program. Normally, we'll try to understand execution. Whenever you run this application, whenever we run this application, let's see the first we'll try to understand this program, compilation and execution. You see, whenever you run this application, program execution starts by main method. Enter first number and you know all these things. User entered 10 and user entered 5. So here what happened? 10 will be stored into A, 5 will be stored into B, 10 by 5, that is 2, 2 is div result is 2. You will get div result is 2. Okay. And this is one model. And the second model is compilation and execution. Second model is 10, user entered 0. Whenever user entered 0, what happened? We will see. We are not implemented exception handling mechanism. We are going to see the when we have to go for exception handling mechanism. A, B is 0, 10 by 0. So 10 by 0 generally will throw what? Exception. Will throw what? Exception. Divide by 0 exception. So, but are we handling the exception or not handling?
Not handled.
Whenever we are not handling the exception, what will happen? Program execution will terminate abnormally and by displaying the system defined exception messages. Here you are getting a system defined exception message called divide by 0 exception was not handled. That's why your remaining statements of the program is not executing. Your remaining program is not executing. Okay. So that is the story. Suppose, right, if you will handle this with the help of exception handling mechanism, what will happen? That too we are planning to handle this error with the help of only try catch blocks. So, right. So first of all, we need to apply try block. Next, we need to apply catch block. We have to recognize the try block statements in this. Means in try block, what are the statements we need to keep here? And in catch block, we need to, and you remembered one thing, same program we handled with the help of logic also. Remember?
Control statement.
Yeah. To handle these runtime errors, we have two ways. One is predefined mechanism is exception handling mechanism. So other one is you can handle the runtime errors. Some runtime errors you can handle with the help of logic also. If you want to handle, you need to use control statements that we have done also already. Okay. Now my question to all the people is, that is, right now in this program we have couple of statements. In this couple of statements, which code we should write within the try block?
Div is equal to AB.
Listen. Whenever you want to apply the try block, we need to think about part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is what? The statement which may throw in an error. In this program, don't think about other errors. You concentrate at present only divide by 0 error. Okay. So in that case, the statement which may throw an error means in this program, which statement is throwing an error?
If is equal to A by B.
With this
Equal to AB.
div equal to a by b statement is throwing what? Error. That is part 1 code. That is a part 1 code. And now we need to understand part 2 code. In this code, part 2 is what? Part 2 is nothing but what? The code which you want to execute only when there is no error. When there is no error, I want to execute that code. Means error is there, nothing but execute. What is that?
Console.writeline div result
What is that? Div result.
plus div.
Result is should execute what? When execute you want to execute? Whenever there is no
There is no error.
whenever the division is completed what? Successfully. Whenever the division is completed successfully, only you need that, because that you don't require when there is an error. So this is part 1 and this is part 2. So total 2 statements we are keeping within the try block. We are keeping within the try block. Okay, over. Now we need to understand about catch block. Now catch. Now you guys, you observe catch block. Whenever you are applying the catch block, whenever we are applying the catch block, right, we need to write the class name first here, syntax wise. So the class will be depends upon the error which you are getting here. Here you are getting which error? Divide by 0 error. Divide by 0 error means divide by 0 exception class. Some reference variable I am writing DE. That is a user defined variable. Now console dot message user friendly console dot write line error handling code here. Sorry. Console dot write line. What is that? Please enter second number. Sorry.
Then
Otherwise we'll write a normal message here. What is that? Second number can't be 0. Second number can't be 0. Second number can't be 0. Okay. Next to there is no finally block for us. We don't have any finally block. We didn't think about finally block. We are implementing right now only 2 blocks. With these 2 blocks, how this program will handle, our main target is handling the runtime errors, means avoiding the abnormal termination even though there is an error. Even though there is an error. Okay, now you see. You can observe. Yeah, same program. Now we need to trace in 2 models. One model is enter valid values, means no error. Second model is enter 0. That means there is an error. Two tracings we have to do, compilation and execution. Okay, enter 10, enter 5. So you need to understand like this. User entered 10, user entered 5. 10 will be stored into A, 5 will be stored into B. Now control entered into try block. Control entered into try block. 10 by 5. 10 by 5. So result is 2. So but there is no error. No error. That's why console.writeline also will execute. Div result is div. Div result is div. That is 2. Full try block is executed, but there is no error. Means catch block will execute or catch block will skip.
It will skip.
It is not console.readline. Console.readline will execute. Okay, this is the one model. And let's say some other model, that is enter first number 10, enter second number 0. This time I am entering second number is what? 0. Enter what is that? Second number is what? 0. Okay, yes. Okay guys, now, yeah. Wait 1 minute. Yeah, now you see. Yeah. What happened? You observe. Second number 0. B is what? 0. A is what? 10.
10.
Control will enter into try block. In try block, 10 by 0. 10 by 0. What will happen? Try block. 10 by 0. Error.
the try
Statement will throw what? No, wait 1 minute. Now control is executing the part 1 of the try block. It is throwing what?
Exception.
Error or exception. Immediately control will come out of the try block. It will skip the part 2 following statements. And it will look for the divide by 0 error handling catch block. Nothing but divide by 0 exception catch block. It is available. That's why it will execute that catch block. And console.write and second number can't be 0. Second number can't be 0. Second number can't be what? 0. Then console dot what is that? Read line. Then console dot what is that? Read line. That is the story. Okay. So here first you need to understand one important point. That is the same program when we executed with 10 and 0 combination without try and catch block, what happened? Yeah.
Program stop abnormal.
Madhuri, you tell me, when you executed same program without a try catch block, when we entered 10 and 0, what happened? Program execution
Abnormally terminated.
terminated. Right now, same program with the 10-0 combination, we are executing with the help of try catch block. What happened? Program execution terminated or not terminated?
Not terminated. It handled that exception.
Right. It handled the exception and it is avoided the abnormal termination and program execution went smoothly. That's why you are able to see the output window. Right. So the main purpose of the exception handling mechanism is to handle the runtime errors whenever there is a runtime error, handling the runtime errors and avoiding the abnormal terminations. But here we have one problem. I have you in all of your minds. The problem is, sir, we are unable to see the what result. We are unable to see the result, and we are unable to accept the again input from the user. That is one drawback of the console application. In console application, the program execution once start and it will end by the main method. And if you want to reaccept the numbers, actually you can use go to statement to go back to the control again accept. But ultimately we are going to implement exception handling mechanism. We are using console applications to learn exception handling mechanism. But this exception handling mechanism in real time we will not use in console application. We will use in Windows applications. We will use in web applications. We will use in WCF applications. But all these applications definitely will have a GUI based applications. Those are all event driven programming. There you can see the appropriate result and what you are expecting. That is the reason only just now I opened one web application to show you the exact situation. Same exception handling mechanism right now I'm going to implement on your ASP.NET application. This is your ASP.NET application, and the difference between the web application and the Windows console application is what is the main difference is here you will have a GUI that is nothing but you will have a special user interface. That user interface is nothing but web page. Now that user interface we can decorate with the help of controls. You can observe how many inputs you want to accept right now in this example. Two inputs. To accept first input, one text box, and beside the text box, you want to accept one more input. That's why you need one more text box. You need one more text box, guys. Toolbox, again one more text box, and two text boxes. After the second text box, what I am expecting to display the error message, I am using one label control, label, and bottom of this to submit we need to have a button. To submit we need to have a button, and bottom of the button to display the result we are using one more label. We are using one more label. You can observe. Now you can observe. And the source code. Forget about this design code. I'm trying my level best to give you the clarity. Enter first number. Enter first number. For ID, first number ID is, let's say, txt num1. That ID is txt num1. And enter second number. Enter second number. And for the second text box, ID is txt num2, and after that label. This label in purpose is LBL message. Message means what? Whenever second number is 0, you want to display some user friendly message. That's why message I kept. Button is for division. That's why I'm giving ID as btn div, and coming to the text is division text div performing division, and coming to the display label is LBL result. It is going to display the result in the runtime. So this is the program. Suppose same program now also we will write without try catch first. Okay, now you see we will write the same program without try catch block. Right. It is a different event driven programming. I think it is old application. We will do one thing. Same application. Copy file, new project, ASP.NET web application. No, I'm creating separate application. It has some problem, I think. Not responding. Right. Now there same exception handling mechanism we are implementing right now in GUI based application. Today we will get comfort in exception handling mechanism, but but it will not end with today class. When you entered into ASP.NET topics, at the time of ADO.NET, in so many places we will use the same exception handling mechanism multiple times. You will get more and more command on this. Now I'm adding one web page, add item, web page adding. I'm showing you web form one. Same web form one, right click, set as start page. Now same design. Because that application is corrupted. That's the reason it's not responding. That's why I created new application. Don't get confused now. You can observe right now. You can observe your ASP.NET application. Now I just click the button. Here we need to write the logic. Let's say it is your main method, like that you feel. Okay, right. You need to write the logic. So you need to accept first number into a same. There in the said there you have written into a equal to into dot parse of console dot readline. But here value is available in the text box. Txt num1 dot text. You see txt num1 dot again error. Why error? You see a is integer, text is what? String. Text property. Your 10 is representing with the text property, that is string. So again you have to perform typecasting into dot parse of txt num1 dot text. See in ASP.NET in first line only you need to implement a concept called typecasting. That is the importance of typecasting. Into b equal to into dot parse of txt num2 dot text. Right. Right. Means what I am doing, first number I am storing into A, second number I am storing into B. Yes. Now into div equal to A by B, div equal to A by B. LBL res dot text to equal to division result is div. Division result is div. Division result is what? Div. Okay, so this is the story. Now you can observe this one. Now, first I didn't implement exception handling mechanism. Compilation and execution. Compilation and execution. You observe. Right. Now, when you run the application. Now, without exception handling mechanism, first we are trying how we tried in console. Same way we are trying right now. Okay. User entered 10 and user entered 5. We'll see in one model. Second model we'll see user entered 10 and user entered 0. I think all our recordings are in C folder. That's why system getting slow. You have to move. 10 5. You observe 10 5. I'm clicking a button called div. Whenever you click the div button, this click code will execute. 10 will be stored into A. 5 will be stored into B. 10 by 5. 2 will be stored into div. Division result is div. 2 will be displayed in the label. In label, you can observe. Yeah. Div result is 2. Okay guys, done. Okay. Similarly, suppose you are implementing second model. Second model means, right, that is 0. 10 and 0. Suppose you entered 10. You entered 10. You entered 10. Yeah. 10 and 0. 10 and 0. And I'm going to click which button? Div button. What is going to happen? A is 10, B is 0, and 10 by 0. 10 by 0 means it may throw in an exception. Whenever it throws exception, are we handling the exception or not handling?
Not handled.
Whenever not handling, what will happen? Whenever not handling, what will happen? It will terminate the program execution abnormally. Abnormally, it is throwing predefined exception. So to avoid this, we have to go for exception handling mechanism. Okay, we have to go for exception handling mechanism. Now let's implement exception handling mechanism again here. You can observe. This statement is giving an error. That's why it should be in part 1. And this is the should execute when,
Two.
When there is no error.
that's why in try block
I.
in try block this is part 1 and this is part 2. This is part 1, this is part 2. Now we have to go for what block? Catch block. Catch block divide by 0 exception D. 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 Okay, divide by 0 exception D. Now you guys you observe.
L rest.
Yeah. Now user friendly message LBL message dot text equal to please enter second number other than other than
Zero.
other than 0. Please enter second number other than 0. That is a message you have to write. Whenever you are not talking, try to mute and maintain silence in the class. Okay, right. Please enter second number other than what? 0. Right, over. So that is the story. Anyhow, we didn't think about finally block. Finally block also we can expose. Right now, let's see, leave it for some time. Now you see, try block part 1, part 2, it is catch block. It is a real-time programming, compilation and execution. You see how it will execute. You see how it will execute. Yeah. Now, first user will enter 10 and 5. We will go in this model. 10 and 5. We will click the div button. If we will click the div button, what is happening? 10 is stored into A, 5 is stored into B. 10 by 5. 10 by 5 means 2. 2 will be here. Any error in this statement or no error? Error or no error? No error.
No error.
Whenever there is
No error.
try block will execute remaining statement. Div result is div. Div result is div. Now div result is div. So that is div result is div. That statement also displayed in the label. You observe. And a full try block is executed, but there is no error. Whenever there is no error, catch block will be skipping. Whenever there is no error, catch block will be skipping. Over. Story completed. Okay, suppose we'll go in other model. That other model is what? Stop debugging. You observe. And whenever you are implementing this type of programming, in the beginning only clear labels in the beginning. All the labels better to clear. First initially clear the old messages. The purpose of this is clearing old messages in the beginning. Okay. Now, yes. Now you see compilation and execution. Right. Now you see, user entered 10. User entered 0. You are entering first 10 and second 0. Then what is going to happen? 10 and 0. And going to click a button called div. Whenever user will click the div, first labels old must clear. A is 10, B is 0. Try block 10 by 0. Error is occurred. Whenever it came with error, it will skip the following try block. It will skip the following try block. Means it will skip this statement. Division result is div statement will be skipping. Division result is div statement will be skipping. Okay. So because there is an error and it will come out of the try block, it will execute which block? Catch block. Catch block is executing. Please enter second number other than what? 0. Other than 0. Whenever you have seen this message, you will enter this time again 0, for example. Again it will say please enter second number other than 0. Suppose again user entered now 5. Now you will get this result. Division result is. That is the story. Are we able to handle the runtime errors with the help of try and catch block?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right. So that is the story about this one. Right. In this way we can go ahead. Okay guys. Now, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's why, come on, that's why, yeah, in console application, we are unable to see the proper output. Console application purpose is only for learning how to use this. Exactly, we'll use this concept in GUI based applications called either Windows or web application. So now we will do what? We'll handle the runtime errors now with the help of 3 blocks. We'll handle the runtime errors with the help of 3 blocks. Example to handle divide by 0 error by using try, catch and finally blocks. We'll go for try, catch, finally blocks. Okay, we'll go for try, catch and finally blocks. Whenever you go for this try, catch and finally block, what is the procedure? We will see. Yeah, try block is already there, catch block is already there, and we need to implement which block? Finally block. At present, small normal statement I am writing console.writeLine finally is calling. Finally block is calling. Finally block is calling. Okay. Guys, finally is calling. You observe the flow. When finally will execute, yeah, Akshita na? Akshita, when finally will execute? Yeah. Arun, when finally block will execute? Arun.
It will execute always.
Always. Irrespective of error occurrence, finally block will be executing. Now we will see in 2 models here also. We will see whether it is right or wrong. Suppose user entered 10 and 5. You observe. Irrespective of error, you observe. Now, yeah, 10, 5, 10 by 5. Any error? No error. That's why console.readLine div result is also will execute. Full try block will execute. Catch block will be skipping. But still it is executing which block, finally block and so on. You see, finally is calling. Finally block is executed when there is no error. Now we will see the second model. Second model is what? 10 and 0. 10 and 0. Yeah, here A is what? 10. B is what? 0. So 10 by 0 error. Whenever there is an error, control will come out of the which block? By block, and it will skip the following statement and it will execute the catch block. In catch block, what is that? Divide by 0 exception. Catch block is executing and second number can't be 0. And after that, it will execute finally block. Even though there is an error, it is executed finally block. With this, we observe that finally block will execute. Finally block will execute always irrespective of error occurrence. Irrespective of error occurrence. Finally block will execute always irrespective of error occurrence means when there is no error, when there is an error, or when there is no error, in always it will execute. Okay, that is a story about which block finally block. Okay, now come back to next I want to implement same exception handling divide by zero error by using only try block. I want to implement only with the help of try block. My question is, can we implement or not? Is it possible or not? We've seen just now with the help of try catch. Okay, successful. Try catch finally also you have seen. I want to implement with the help of only try block.
Yes, we can.
We'll try.
Yes, sir.
We'll try. We'll remove the catch block. We'll remove the finally block. Okay, we'll keep only what block? Try block. So nothing is there. Only try block. So we will see what is going to be happen. So whatever I am raising, every point is an interview question. Every point is an interview question. Try to remember. Yes. Now you see, guys. Yeah. Compilation and execution. Now, see what is output, what happened whenever you write an only try block. Immediately, when you compile the program itself, it is throwing error. Means it is going to give a compile time error. It's going to give a compile time error. It's going to give a compile time error. The compile time error is what is that? Compile time error is expected catch or final. Or final. Compiler is telling that according to the syntax, try block should follow with either catch block or finally block. Either catch block or finally block. So you can go with either catch or finally. Right now in our previous program, we went with catch combination. It didn't give any problem. Now it is asking, Babu, you can go with only finally also. Syntax wise, it is telling. Then immediately what I have done. Next we will try in this model. So finally we understood with using try block, it will throw compile time error. Now try finally combination we will see. Example to handle divide by zero error by using try finally combination. Try finally combination. Yes. Try block. Next finally. Console dot write line. Finally is calling. Finally is calling. Console dot write line. Finally is calling. Okay. Now you see. When you are trying only try finally combination, can you guess what is going to be the output?
If there is error, it will
No
print
error.
finally
Finally
is
executed. We have error.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
abnormally
Hmm. So
remove the execution.
my question is, any compile time error,
No.
there is no chance of compile time error. Why? Because compiler itself just now said that Babu, you go with what? Finally also no problem either catch or finally. So compile time no error means syntax wise it is right. Right. Next to next point is runtime. Any runtime error?
Yes, sir.
Okay, na? You check. You check it. All of you guys, you check it. You check this. What is going to happen? 2 minutes time I am giving you. You tell me what is going to happen. You tell me. I'm sending through chat. Copy paste the code into your systems and do it. 2 minutes time. Check it.
Runtime error, sir.
Runtime error when always, huh?
When we enter 0 for
Suppose I entered 10:05. Any problem?
Sir.
no.
No problem. I entered 10:05. You will get output or you will not get output?
You'll get output.
We will get output.
the output and finally is calling.
I entered 10:0. Any problem?
Yes.
Runtime error.
Runtime.
Yes.
We will see. Compile the program. No problem. executing the program. You see guys, what is happening in this? Yeah, 10 and 5. 10 and 5. A is 10, B is 5. 10, 5. Okay, so try block is executing 10 by 5. 2, and there is no error. There is no error. Console.write line, div result is div. Div result is div. Okay, div result is div. Okay, now try block execution completed. And any error, guys? No
No
error.
error.
Whenever there is no error in try block, it doesn't require to look for catch block. Directly, blindly, it is executing which block?
Final.
Final.
That's why we didn't get any problem. Suppose you observe compilation and execution. Yes, 10 and 0. 10 and 0. Now you see 10 by 0. While executing this statement, 10 by 0. Any error?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Divide by 0 error. Then immediately control will come out of the try block. It will skip the following statements of the try block and it will look for the catch block. Catch block is available or not available?
Not
Not
available.
available.
That's why it will throw what? Exception.
Runtime error.
Divide by 0.
Exception. Means very simple point you can see here. Implementing try finally with the help of only try finally combination, we can't handle the runtime errors. It is almost all equivalent to without exception handling mechanism. Almost all, you can say that you are not implemented a concept called
Exception handling.
Handling.
okay. So that is the story. So with this we identified that with the help of try finally combination we cannot handle the runtime errors. Okay. Now next we need to go for multiple catch blocks. That is, my question is, can we implement multiple catch blocks?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Multiple catch blocks. Can we implement multiple catch blocks? Answer is yes, you can implement. When we will go for multiple catch blocks? When we will go for multiple catch blocks? Right now in the above program we are handling how many errors?
One error.
One error, that's why one catch block. So tomorrow you may have multiple errors. That's why to handle
Multiple error.
multiple errors. Okay, that we'll see tomorrow. And today onwards, what we will do?